let's talk about the legacy of action, adrenaline, and sheer cinematic audacity. I'm looking at you, Mission Impossible. And no, this isn't just another entry in the franchise. It's the capstone of a journey decades in the making. The upcoming Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning promises to be a spectacle that rewrites the rules. But here's the catch. It's also shrouded in mystery and loaded with massive expectations. Let's unravel what we know, what we hope for, and why this might just be the most defining mission of Ethan Hunt's career. Now, the title itself sets the tone, The Final Reckoning. It's bold, dramatic, and hints at closure. And yes, while the franchise has danced with the idea of finality before, this one feels different. For one, it follows directly on the heels of Dead Reckoning Part 1. Think of it as the second act of an epic conclusion. The stakes? Well, they involve a rogue AI dubbed the Entity, which has already been established as a villain capable of destabilizing the entire world. Ethan Hunt's mission, should he choose to accept it, is no longer about stealing discs or chasing shadowy figures. This is about facing a machine with no face, no fear, and no hesitation. Sounds like the stuff of nightmares, doesn't it? But here's where things get even more intense. Cruz, the man who refuses to let gravity, logic, or age hold him back, is said to be pulling off some of his most insane stunts yet. We're talking about hanging off airplanes mid-flight, riding motorbikes off cliffs, and performing sequences that make your pulse quicken just thinking about them. It's not just spectacle for the sake of spectacle, though. This is about legacy, both for Ethan Hunt and for Cruz himself. With a rumored budget north of $400 million, you can bet every cent is being spent to push the boundaries of what we expect from an action film. The film reunites us with familiar faces: Luther, Benji, Ilsa, and Grace, all characters who become as vital to the franchise as Ethan himself. They're not just supporting players, they're his family. And in this chapter, the dynamics between them promise to be more complex than ever. After all, facing an enemy like the Entity isn't just a test of courage, it's a test of trust, loyalty, and the choices that define who you are. Every decision matters, every move counts, and if the teaser trailer is anything to go by, the tension is going to be relentless. But let's not forget the film's thematic backbone. It's about choices. Our lives are the sum of our choices, Ethan says, and it's a line that resonates deeply. Think about it. The weight of a life lived chasing impossible missions, the sacrifices made along the way, and the reckoning with one's own humanity. This isn't just about saving the world. It's about confronting the choices that shape who you are when the world is watching. And when it isn't, now. I hear whispers that this could be the last hurrah for Ethan Hunt. Could this be the film where he steps back, retires, or, dare I say it, meets a fate we're not ready for? Cruz himself has hinted at wanting to play Ethan into his 80s, taking inspiration from Harrison Ford's iconic turn as Indiana Jones. But let's be honest, whether this is truly the end or just a pivot to something new, it's clear that the stakes have never been higher for the character or the franchise. Filmed across jaw-dropping locations from South Africa to Malta, with the creative genius of Christopher McQuarrie behind the camera, The Final Reckoning isn't just a film. It's an event. It's a culmination of everything the series has stood for: innovation, risk-taking, and a relentless drive to redefine what's possible on screen. And while delays due to the pandemic and industry strikes have tested everyone's patience, perhaps that wait has only heightened the anticipation. Here's the kicker. Mission Impossible has never just been about explosions, tech gadgets, or thrilling stunts. It's been about heart, about a man who believes in the impossible and the team that believes in him. And if this truly is the final reckoning, then it's not just Ethan Hunt's mission on the line, it's ours, because we've been with him every step of the way, through the double crosses, the jaw-dropping escapes, and the missions that seemed doomed to fail. We've been there, and we're ready for one last ride. So let's ask ourselves, what does it mean to face your reckoning? to look back on the choices you've made and confront the consequences. That's the heartbeat of this story. It's thrilling, yes, but it's also deeply personal. And that's why Mission Impossible continues to stand apart in a sea of action franchises. It doesn't just aim for the adrenaline, it aims for the soul. Now, if you're as hyped as I am, you know what to do. Comment, like, and subscribe to keep this conversation alive. More details are in the description, and if you've got questions or theories, drop them in the comments. This is Green Ground, where we take you deeper into the stories that move us. And trust me, this one's going to be unforgettable.